Well, once again, we're fixing a diverter valve in another hot tub. I'm not sure what it is lately. This is our third one in probably the last month. We've got one at our shop, and this is the second one in the field. So, again, it's just leaking from right here. There's no real quick fix. You got to take all this foam out. You got, this is one's up. This is your supply, and this is the return. So, we'll get it done. Won't take that long. Well, after playing with this hot tub for about half hour to 45 minutes and digging into foam, it appears that we are going to be replacing the diverter valve. So what we're going to do is we'll be cutting the lines. You know, this line, we'll cut this line over here, and then we'll cut this line. We'll put in a new diverter valve, re-PVC everything and glue everything in and button it all up and be done. This is an easy fix for the most part. I've got pretty much all the foam completely cleaned up around the diverter valve. I'll have to do a little bit more once I get the diverter valve out of there, but this is not going to be one that's going to take us a long time to do. Anyways, we're going to get to cutting and we'll show you how we do this. Okay, now that I got all three pipes cut, I kind of put them in a position where I don't get wet and stuff. I left these a little bit long and stuff like that because if I'm able to fix this, I might be able to keep it and put it someplace else. But for right now, we're going to pull it out of there. We got a bunch more cutting to do. I might have to cut the whole thing up into pieces to get it out of there. I don't know yet, so we'll see. Well, I have figured out what I needed, and I'm off to the parts store right now. I should be back from a place called Spa Works that is here in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey everybody, well, I'm back. What I've done is I've completely cleaned out this area right here so that I can put the new valve in. This is the new valve. I've taken the top off of it. It's got two O-rings there, and then it has an O-ring up here, and then the diverter goes on top. What I'm going to use is an elbow that's a slip elbow. It's a 2-inch. That'll slide in one side, and then that piece will slide in the other side. I'm going to use a piece of PVC. Oh, here it is. That'll go in right here in the bottom, and then I'll use one in the center, use another one on this side like this. Then I'm going to put the coupler down here, coupler, and then that'll go into all three of those. Pretty simple. You got, there's number 3, there's number 2, or number 2's in the center, number 1's on the side. So basically, since I cut the pieces out, I'm using a piece of what they call rigid 2-inch PVC so that it gives me about another 2 inches, just so that I've got enough play to get it in there. Other than that, what I'm going to do is I'll start primering these. Primer is the purple stuff that you put on. That cleans the PVC and makes it so that the PVC cement works better. I'll glue it all together. We'll be done in probably, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, everybody, this is what the old piece looks like. If you look up on top, where's it at? It is right here. You can see where it's all smudged right here up on top. There's where I think was causing the leak. Believe it or not, that was causing enough of a leak to where the O-ring that sits here just wouldn't seal enough, and that's what was causing the water to leak. Not 100% sure, but you know, this is not a cheap fix. It's not a quick fix. It's the only fix that's right, and I believe in doing the job right the first time. I don't like putting a band-aid on something and coming back 6 months later to fix it. So anyways, you can see where I cut these off just a little bit, because if I can fix this, I might put this into a used hot tub or keep this for a quick, cheap fix if I can fix this top part. If I can't, then this is going to get thrown away. But anyways, I cut them down here. I'm basically going to reduplicate this. The only difference is right here, I'm going to use a piece of rigid tubing, or rigid PVC pipe, and then I'll put a coupler on the bottom. So right now I'm going to start with this, and I kind of threw my dustpan down here because I don't want to make a mess. And right now I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to put the what's it called, primer on all the pieces. I do this first. Everybody's got their own way of doing it. I'm not sure if there is a right way. This is the way I've been doing it for years. I did sprinkler systems for a year. I've done pool repairs for years. I do use a lot of PVC cement, stuff like that. And this is just, I have found that this works every time. Some people have told me that I don't need to go to this much extent to do this. It's 110 degrees out today. I don't want to be back here in a week fixing this again because of a leak. So I'm going to continue to do it the way I do it, and that's that. So I hope that these videos do help you guys when you guys watch them, to show that it's not really that hard to do this kind of work. It's tedious work. I think the hardest part is finding the leak. We were here yesterday and we thought we had the leak found, and we didn't. The homeowner said, nope, it's still leaking. And I said, man, I'm not sure where it's leaking. We got out here this morning. Jacob, once again, found the leak in what? 2 minutes?
If that.
Yeah, it wasn't long. Today, Jacob's my cameraman. Very rare do I have a cameraman. Jacob's getting better and better at it all the time. You can hear him laughing back there. But this is not, like I said, you know, cleaning this stuff up and putting these together. Hot tubs are not rocket science. You know, you just got to take your time and make sure you do everything right. I don't know if there is a right or a wrong way to do this. Like I've said in the past, this is the only way I know to do it. I've watched a lot of videos. So far, the way I'm doing it today, it has never failed me. So until I find a way that is better, I usually continue doing things the way I've done them for, you know, basically my whole life. Okay, now we're going to do the diverter valve. The diverter valve has 4 holes in it. Okay, 3 of them get PVC components pushed into there. You know, one will have an elbow, one will have a straight. Do not get any PVC cement in this area at all. Otherwise, you throw this part away, you must go buy a new one. You do not pass go, you do not collect $200. To the contrary, you waste about an hour and a half's worth of time. You got to go back to the parts store, buy another one, and then start all over again. That sucks. So do not get any PVC. Do not get any of the purple primer on it. Take your time when it comes to this part when you're gluing this one, this one, this one. Okay? Do not get anything where the threads are on the top. Do not get any cement on that. No primer, nothing. Have I made myself clear? If I went on enough, I don't know how to make myself more clear. Do not do that. Thank you for your patience. Okay, what I do when I'm primering these or gluing these, I kind of turn it upside down. That way nothing falls into the center. So if it falls, it's going to get on my hand, or it's going to get on my leg, or something like that. But you do not want it to get on the inside. Okay, all the primering is done. Now we're going to start gluing this together. Start with the straight piece. Glue it on. I take one of these connectors, glue that on. Push it down, twist. Same thing. Put a little glue on this one. Come here. Put a little glue in here. Take this. Push it on there. Push it all the way in, and then twist. I give it like 1/8 of a twist or 1/4 of a twist, just to get it in there so it's nice and tight. We're going to set that one aside. We're going to come over here. We're going to do another one. Glue it all the way around. Set that one down. Now I'm using a dustpan down here, and the reason why I'm doing that is I don't want this PVC cement all over my customer's backyard. So that's just something that I do. Not everybody does that. My suggestion is, if you're doing this at your house, I would strongly suggest doing exactly the way I'm doing it. The PVC cement gets everywhere, and it does not come up that easy. There again, push it in there, give it a little twist, and it doesn't take long. Count to 5, and it's dry, and it is literally that fast. I do glue both pieces. I think it does a better job. There again, some people do, some people don't. It's okay. I'm not here to judge. PVC cement is cheap. Do not be sparingly with it. I mean, PVC and the primer, if it costs you $5, I'd be surprised. Now, when I cut these pieces that are in the center, I just approximated it. I said, a 4.5-inch piece, the size of my fist, whatever. I just kind of came up with a size. I just wanted to make sure that I gave a little bit of size for when I went to glue these up to it. Now I do this one. Push it in. Push it in like this, and then I twist it until they become almost even. If you want to make sure they're even, put them on the ground. That's basically how I do it. Pretty simple. There again, stick it in about a quarter of a turn. Oh, I'm getting it on the concrete, not good. There's my new manifold. Pretty simple. Anybody can do this. Old one, new one. Pretty much the same. The only difference is the old style does not have any O-rings here. The new style has O-rings here. Much better design. I think they're made by the same company, just maybe 10 years apart. Not really sure, but pretty much identical design. Okay, basically I'm done with this, so now I need to put it into this. So what happens is this comes underneath, comes up through this hole, and you just push it up as hard as you can. You've got an O-ring that sits right here. Put the O-ring in there. Diverter valve. Diverter valve goes down, goes in, goes one way, goes the other way. Okay. We're going to take this. This sits down on here. And that's all you're going to do is you're going to tighten this thing up by hand. That's all there is to it. You're done on top. With the valve installed up here, it's pretty simple. Hose number 3 goes number 3, 2, 1. I left enough room to where I know I can push it up in there, far enough to make it go up in there. Now, it does take a couple seconds for this to set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up in there and I'm going to hold it for a couple seconds just so it sets up. Because sometimes the flex tubing has a tendency to come down. Before you put the primer on these and before you put the glue on, make sure you scrape all the way around because sometimes it gets the foam on there. You want to make sure you get a really good sealing. Okay? This is the part of doing the hot tub that I hate the most because no matter what I do, I'm going to get glue on me. I just hate this part. Take your time, make sure you glue everything because you only get one shot at this. If you think you put on enough glue, put on a little bit more. It's not going to hurt anything. This glue is cheap. Okay, when you go to do it, and grab it, line it up, push it in as far as you can, and hold it there. And you can see I put a line right here, so I know where I wanted it lined up to. Once I know I got it, put a line underneath it, so I know approximately. What I do is I put a line underneath it so I know if it's moved, kind of like I put right there. You put the line on after you've glued it. It's just something I've done, so you can tell that this one's moving a little bit, but it's setting up. Well, as you can see, I've got number 1 in there, and you can see the line right there. And that's about where I put it. I don't really try to get it up as close as I can to the connector because I don't want to get any glue on my Sharpie. This one's in the right spot, and this one's in the right spot also. So everything's glued in there. Looks really good, and like you see, number 1, number 2, 2, 3, 3. So just make sure you get them all in the same place. If not, it tends not to work the same way. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and button this hot tub up and get her filled up with water and see if she works. Okay, everybody, we got the CalSpa all filled up with water. We've been running it for about 5-6 minutes. The diverter valve seems to work flawlessly. It's very smooth. We're not having any leaks underneath and stuff like that, where before this thing was just leaking out like crazy. Like I said, this is not a hard job to do. It's just time consuming. It's very tedious. The reason why I do these videos is to show people that if you want to do it, you can do this yourself. If you don't have the ability or capability, or you don't want to get glue on your hands, kind of like me, then you hire someone like me to do it and I'll get the glue on my hands. But just mark everything as you're taking it apart. You know, mark your tubes and stuff. Always give yourself a little play just in case. Whenever, if you take 2 inches off, you got to add 2 inches somewhere. Otherwise, it's not going to go together correctly. And then after you get done, you want to test it. You want to look. Before you put the side panels on, check out everything. So anyways, we're going to call this one a go. This hot tub seems to be working fine, and I'm sure the customer is going to be happy. With that, we're going to make this one a wrap. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate all the support. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, on the right side, just hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and every week or so I put out a video. If I haven't put out a video on something that you're having a problem with your hot tub, just write something down in the comments. I read everything. I answer everybody. I've also put my email address in the description. You can email me. You can call me up. I can put my telephone number down there. And again, my name is Scott. I'm with the Arizona Hot Tub Factory, and they call me the Spa Man. And remember, it's just a hot tub in your backyard that heats up and blows bubbles. Don't go crazy. And with that, I'll see you on the next hot tub. Have a great day, everybody.